The last class we have seen about the three jewels of Buddhism, that is Buddha, Dharma, Sangha. So Buddham Sharanam Gacchami, Dharmam Sharanam Gacchami, Sangham Sharanam Gacchami. These three jewels can be also translated into threefold ways of ethics, meditation, and wisdom. So ethics we have already seen. That means every action produces either harmful or beneficial consequences in the life of ours as well as the life of others. Buddhist ethics concerned with the principles of and practices that help one to act the ways, rather helping than doing any harm to others. The core principle code of ethics is the 5 precepts, which will come to a later time. Then we said about the meditation. So meditation is something which helps you to take responsibility on yourself. There are many things which are beyond our control. For example, the natural happenings or the calamity or the phenomenon that is happening or the natural calamities. We have no control over them. But it is possible to take responsibility for and to change one's state of mind. According to Buddhism, this is the most important thing we can do. And Buddhism teaches that it is the only real antidote to anxiety, hatred, discontentedness, sleepiness, and confusion that beset the human condition. So meditation in a way that helps you to become responsible. Meditation is the means of transforming the mind. Buddhist meditation practices are techniques that encourage and develop concentration. So many people come to the Triratna Center where meditation classes, discourses are conducted. So not necessary that you should become a Buddhist to attend this meditation course or classes. Buddha never compels anyone to become a Buddhist. So they will teach you, they will give you the reasons and various interpretations of theirs regarding life and its objectives. If you are convinced, you may follow. If you are not convinced, you don't have to follow. And also you take only what you need or what you are convinced of. So there is no coercion or force on the part of Buddhists to make you a Buddhist. So these aspects, that is the meditation, discourses, classes, it is open to everybody. So there is no distinction of caste, class, creed, whether you are a believer or not believer, no questions are asked. You are free to go to these centers to attend. And many people attend the meditation not for becoming a Buddhist, but to get a control over themselves. As it is said, meditation is a means of or an antidote to the anxiety, hatred, discontentedness, sleepiness, and confusion that arise. Very often they come in our life. How to overcome? So the enemy is within ourselves and not without. Not outside ourselves, but we need to focus within. That is self-acknowledgement and awareness. That is going to be the main aspect in this meditation. So learning meditation does not mean that you are going to become a Buddhist. So many people visit the center, Triratna Center, to learn more about oneself than any other, or it is not with the intention of becoming a Buddhist, but know oneself. The techniques of meditation are very, very simple. However, reading about them doesn't make you to meditate. So therefore, you need a good teacher one who has gone through this and who knows the various steps of meditation and what difficulties that can come on your way. And therefore, a teacher will be able to offer you guidance in how to apply the technique and how to deal with the difficulties. Perhaps most importantly, a teacher can offer the encouragement and inspiration of their own example. So that is the advantage when you go to a Triratna center where every day, that is continuously, this course is being offered and you become part of it, and then the learned gurus or the teachers, they will be able to give you guidance maybe from their own life itself. So that becomes a great help. At the Triratna centers, meditation is taught by members of the Triratna Buddhist order who are experienced meditators. Classes and courses are open to everyone. You need not be interested in Buddhism. Motives for learning meditation vary. Some people want to improve their concentration for work or sports. Others are looking for calm and peaceful mind. So the intention of yours coming to the Triratna Center to learn about meditation or learn how to meditate, it varies from person to person. Some people want concentration, or they are not able to focus on anything, so they want that concentration in work or in sports or whatever activity they are doing, so they want the concentration. Some are there to learn more about how to have the peace of mind. Very important element to live and lead a peaceful life. Then there are people who are trying to answer the fundamental questions about life. With regular practice, meditation can help all of us to find what we are looking for, searching for. Meditation courses are excellent contexts for learning. Meditation retreats offer ideal conditions to take things further. So we have said that it means like the three Ratnas, that is Buddha, Dharma and Sangha. This can be further or interpreted in the way that is of ethics, meditation and wisdom. So it's a further explanation on the three Ratnas. So three Ratna is a very important element in Buddhism. Whatever be the different groups which has been divided and gone, or there are different sects in Buddhism itself, but all of them have this core teaching. The core teaching is that element of the three Ratna, Buddham Sharanam, Dharmam Sharanam and Sangham Sharanam. And this other or the further explanation on that is this is of the the pathways, that is of ethics, meditation and wisdom. Now the ethics and meditation leading to wisdom, that is the goal actually. The aim of all Buddhist practices, including meditation, is prajna or wisdom. How to gain wisdom. The Buddha taught that the fundamental cause of human difficulties is our existential ignorance, our failure to understand the true nature of reality, and wisdom is the opposite of this. So the fundamental principle on which Buddhism is working is that we are ignorant of the true nature of the phenomenal world in which we are. We have understood it as the reality. As the materialists would say that whatever my sense perception can verify, those seems to be the only realities. So it's a pure materialism. There is nothing beyond. So whatever I am not able to really verify with my own sense perception, they are not existing for me. That is the theory. That's a pure materialist would say. Only those things are real which I can touch, feel, hear, smell, taste and all that, all my five sense perception. So that is going to be the pure materialism. Here, Buddha will say that the life principles or the existential ignorance is that the world around us, we take it or we give it a false value, telling that they are the real and we chase after. The first reason or the first principle which he gives, the four noble causes of our existence, he says that the whole life is dukkha, or we are a disappointed group, or we have feeling sorrow. The very reason why he left the comfortable life was that in search of the answer why there is sorrow in our life or in the world. So in search of that answer, he has come up with the Four Noble Truths and the Ashtanga Marga, or the eightfold ways of overcoming that. And that is going to be the real wisdom for us. So the aim of all Buddhists practices, including the meditation, is to prajna, or to have prajna or wisdom. As Buddha taught, the fundamental cause of all human difficulties is our existential ignorance, our failure to understand the true nature of the reality, and wisdom that is opposite to it. This. To start with, we simply need to bear the teachings. We simply need to hear the teachings that indicate the Buddhist view of life. Then we need to reflect on them and make sense of them in relation to our own experience. But prajna or wisdom proper means developing our own direct understanding of the truth. So even Buddhism comes only as, or the meditation and ethics comes only as a help. And the real aspect is that your own experience or direct experience of the understanding the truth, that is the real aspect of the wisdom, or the aim of Buddhism is that to make you wise, to make you really understand what is the true nature of the reality. It is not enough to know Buddha's philosophy or even to have a good understanding of this. The ultimate aim is to realize the truth for oneself and be transformed by that realization. So truth transforms you. The moment you become aware of the truth, or you begin to meditate, and thus you gain. And that is an experience you have. So the meditation, the ethics and meditation leading you to the final goal of wisdom. So that is the aim of Buddhism. And it's not enough to just to read and understand what Buddhism is, or what Buddha thought. Much more than that, you are in a position to know for yourself, or transformed by this realization of the truth. The Buddha taught that life, everything what we experience, has three characteristics of our experience. He called these three marks of conditioned existence. Firstly, he said, all life is dukkha, or unsatisfactory. He also said that it is impermanent. Everything in the universe, including ourselves, and the thoughts that make up our minds, is in constant process of change. And yet, we act as if the world around is predictable and stable. And we live our lives as if death were not a certainty. Buddhists reflect on the fact of impermanence and try to live with this understanding. Thirdly, whatever we may look in this life for something solid or unchanging, we only find a flux, a constant move. So he said that all existence is anatta, or insubstantial. There is no fixed abiding essence to things, and no eternal soul within human beings. So that is a major teaching of Buddha, Anatha. There isn't anything that is consistent or that is permanent as such. Everything under a constant movement or flux. So everything is a kshanika, momentariness, from moment to moment it's going. So that is going to be the real wisdom what they are trying to teach you. So what is that the reality around us, what we often confront or what we experience, and in a mistaken way we take it that these are permanent. So impermanent things are given permanent values. That is the first mistake we commit, and then we keep on. The reason why he said everything is dukkha or dissatisfaction is there in us, because the life, that's what we experience. Something I want to get, I'm not able to get, I feel unhappy. Or some close to with someone very dear to me, he's dead. There is also a feeling of sorrow. So in every way we look at, we are a group of people, or people are that they are running after, chasing after desires. And he would say that the very cause of your sorrow is the very desire you have. And why you desire? Because you are ignorant. Ignorant of what? Ignorant of the true nature of the phenomenal world around you. The phenomenal world, the true nature of the phenomenal world is insubstantial, impermanent, and it is not anything fixed as such. And therefore totally it is momentariness. From moment to moment it is going to be different. And therefore there is nothing that is permanent, including yourself. So he goes to that extent to say that, and no eternal soul within the human beings. So anatha. So nothing is permanent. A person who is wise in the Buddhist sense will naturally see life in terms of these qualities or marks, and prajna means setting aside the pleasing illusion that we adopt to make life comfortable. Often we are prone to that. Make life comfortable, luxurious, and enjoy that. And the other side of it, that is the impermanence of life or the momentariness of life, we in a way try to avoid that. We don't want to think about. We always think of that is something permanent, that is going to continue, that is I'm going to exist forever and ever. So those negative aspects are such, that is what is most certain, that death is certain. Today or tomorrow, that we do not know the time. But these are the things which we try to just forget about it. We don't want to think. So this, the Buddhists through the meditation want to make it very clear that what is the phenomenal world, what is the nature of the reality which you see outside. They are insufficient, impermanent, and in constant flux. So this also means that everything in life is interconnected. That means there is nothing that is going to be very standing or static, but constantly under the move. No individual is entirely separate from the other individual, and humanity is not separate from the world and its world it inhabits. From this naturally arises compassion or universal loving kindness, which is the counterpart of wisdom. So what Buddhism tells more about is the compassion towards others. Or you live in a world of interconnectedness. You are not totally independent. That means you are not sufficient for yourself. For every need of yours, you are going to depend on the other. So interdependentness is very clearly shown in Buddhism, and telling you that true wisdom is to realize that you are in this world in which you live. It's impermanent, but at the same time you are interconnected with others, which brings in a lot of understanding or realization that the other is equally a human being as me, and therefore need of compassion and the kindness towards others. Now we come to the main teaching. That means we have seen in the introduction a short introduction to the main teaching, that is the Four Noble Truths and the Ashtanga Marga. So the four Aryan or noble truths are perhaps the most basic formulation of Buddha's teaching. So once he got enlightened, and then from then on onwards he is called Buddha. So what did he find out? So he was searching for the reason why there is sorrow in the world, why people are unhappy, why things are like that. So from the three apparitions or the direct experience which he had, that is the sickness, old age and death. So from these three direct confrontation with them, he began to think, why is it that? Why there is sickness? Why there is that old age? Why there is death? What is the cause of this suffering, the sorrow, which he never experienced in his life in the palace? It was a luxurious life he had, and his father also saw to it that Siddhartha will never be confronted with anything negative. So always he thought the world is full of happiness, young people, there is no illness, no sickness, and it is always a merry going. Till he began to, or he saw for himself the confrontation with the three aspects, that is of the sickness, old age and death. Then from that moment onwards, it began to disturb him in his whole life, or thinking, or in his sleep and walking, thinking all the time. He had been only thinking, what is the cause of this? Why there is sorrow in the world? He leaves everything, goes in search of that. And then he sat for meditation, went through austere practices. Finally, it has dawned to him what are the real causes of this suffering in the world. And that he has formulated in the Four Noble Truths and the Ashtanga Marga. The first noble truth is that all existence is dukkha. The word dukkha has been variously translated as suffering, anguish, pain, unsatisfactoriness. The Buddha's insight was that our lives are a struggle, and we do not find ultimate happiness or satisfaction in anything we experience. This is the problem of existence. So the first noble truths which he brought about as an answer to the search which he was making, why there is sorrow in the world, why there is suffering, why there is dissatisfaction, unhappiness and all that. The first reason, he said, the whole life, the whole existence is dukkha, and the word dukkha has got different meanings. That is suffering, anguish, pain or unsatisfactoriness. The Buddha's insight was that our lives is a struggle, and we do not find ultimate happiness in anything which we experience. And therefore, this is the problem of existence. Anything you take, the more wealth you have, do you become happy? No. All the more you want more, and then you are dissatisfied. The more wealth you have, instead of making you very happy, what happens? Now you are really worried. Someone may take it away, and therefore you want to protect. And you always live in such a fear. The more wealth you have, the more insecure you become, because you feel that somebody is going to steal it one day or the other, or your life is threatened because you have. However, your desire for more, that is never satisfied. So therefore, anything what you experience, be it in the case of power, or be it in the case of sexual pleasure, or be it in the case of your eating, there is a lot of eating, you never get satisfied. So all the more after, then you want still more. The satiation doesn't come, or the satisfaction is not there. So what is this life? So the first principle which he has put is that all existence is dukkha. That is the first quality or the first noble principle which he has brought about. So all existence is dukkha, and the word means, that is, dissatisfaction with the experience which we have.